Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin with your weather. This evening is much better than this morning. With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scriba with a full weather forecast.
Snow continues to fall in the northern half of the state while we wait on the winds, which will continue to pick up through the afternoon. Area of low pressure continues to spiral away. You'll notice as we record this for you just before the noon hour that the most focused snowfall continues in parts of the Lakes region, the Mount Washington Valley, and up through parts of the Great North Woods. At the area that's going to wind up officially over 6 inches of accumulation out of this system in a band that goes from about the upper valley through the Lakes region and through the Mount Washington Valley. This will continue to pull away, but left behind will be some areas of light snow for the White Mountains and the Great North Woods as we go through the remainder of the afternoon and this evening. All the while, as skies attempt to clear in southern areas of the state, it will be a drying westerly wind, which will start gusting over 30 to 35 miles an hour. And as of the noon hour, we're over 20,000 without power. You would expect with any sort of accumulation that we do have on tree limbs and power lines and those being weighed down, that we could have some additional outages out there this afternoon and into this evening. The wind, which will be out of the west this afternoon, switches a little bit to the northwest later this evening and certainly for the day tomorrow. So we'll have another day with temperatures in the 20s to lower 30s, but it will be with a brisk wind knocking wind chills back into the teens. And then the temperatures themselves fall back into the single digits and teens as the colder air starts to rush in later Thursday night and into Friday, but with mainly fair skies. Expecting sunshine for Friday and the weekend, but it will be very cold. The coldest air of the season for a 3-day stretch. Making its way in Thursday night and into Friday will likely suppress a storm system well to our south on Sunday. So here's a look at the future wind gusts. And again, some gusts over 30 to 35 miles an hour this afternoon, letting up a bit overnight tonight, only to get back above 30 to 35 miles an hour during the daylight hours on Thursday. And then we'll go down to just a breezy day on Friday. Notice what this does to the feels-like temperatures. We start this for you Thursday morning, where they start in the teens to lower range of the 20s, and look at the wind chills as we go through the afternoon. Continuing to fade backward as the colder air rushes in. Eventually, the wind chill readings likely statewide below zero early on Friday morning. As far as additional snowfall at this point, as of noon, this afternoon, we're going forward maybe 2 to 3 additional inches of snow north of the Notches and maybe an inch or two from the foothills through parts of the upper valley and the Mount Washington Valley. So travel still tricky in quite a few areas as the snow continues up north. A few mixed showers for southern areas as that wind picks up. You'll notice in the extended forecast the colder air rushes in Thursday night and is around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures will start to moderate a bit ahead of the next front Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Scriba. And it will be a chilly one on Friday, 19 degrees. Brr. And there are currently 197 closings and delays this evening. If you want to see that complete list, just go to WMUR.com. And now let's take a look at your traffic and see how your traffic is moving this evening for your ride home from work. And here's a look at your traffic this evening. We're seeing a lot of green roadways, and we have a few yellow spots and a few red spots as well, and a lot of construction over here in the Manchester and Bedford area. And then down by the Nashua area, we're seeing a lot of small yellows and green areas over there, and then heading into Methuen in Lawrence, Massachusetts, we have a stop area in the Merrimack area. Otherwise, your traffic is moving much better than this morning, so that is good news there. Now let's get to your news. First up, crashes, spinouts reported across New Hampshire during snowy commute. With more on that, let's go to WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
By 4 a.m., what began as rain in the upper valley had switched over to a heavy, wet snow. The plows were doing their best to keep the roads clear, but numerous accidents were reported, in some cases shutting down highways, like 89 South. Weston Thane is used to winter storms, but not like this, having just moved to New Hampshire.
It's a lot different. Yeah, it's Utah snow's fluffy and powdery, and you don't get this heavy wet stuff as much, so it's a little more on the lungs.
The heavy wet snow also weighed down tree branches, blocking sections of roads. The snow was difficult to deal with, even for those like Patrick McCarthy, who are used to storms. McCarthy clearing the lot at the Ricker Funeral Home.
We've gotten stuck twice just pushing the snow up in the snowbanks.
At one store in Lebanon, they weren't about to let the snow change their plans for a little barbecue.
He's got some pork butts there. So he puts a little rub on there.
Bud Marsh says a storm like this will impact his business.
We get plow guys. We get, school was canceled, so you get, that crowd that usually comes in won't be here.
The morning also found Timmy Trefethan clearing the storefront the old-fashioned way and already wishing that winter had come and gone.
Even though it's just beginning, already tired of it. I want the summer.
I think it's going to be a while before Timmy gets his wish as you take a live look here at the snow that is falling in Sutton. The good news about the storm is that the evening commute should be much easier. Reporting live in Sutton, Ray Brewer, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Power out for tens of thousands of customers in central and northern New Hampshire. With more on that, let's go to WMUR News 9, Sean McDonald.
And thanks. Right now, more than 21,000 customers are without power around the state because of all that heavy, wet snow. Nearly all of the outages are in the Lakes region and in the Mount Sunapee region. New Hampshire Electric Co-op is reporting nearly 14,000 outages. Eversource has around 6,500, and Liberty Utilities has about 1,200 at this hour.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Senator Elizabeth Warren to headline major New Hampshire Democratic Party fundraising dinner. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren this weekend will bring to New Hampshire the progressive message she hopes will eventually carry her to the White House. Less than 2 weeks after announcing a formation of a presidential exploratory committee on December 31st, Warren will make her first campaign visit to the leadoff primary state on Saturday. As WMUR first reported on Twitter, Warren will host an organizing event which will essentially be a rally at Manchester Community College, followed by a house party at the Concord home of former state senator President Sylvan Larison. Larison told WMUR that while she is pleased to be hosting Warren, that does not mean that she is endorsing her at this time. As WMUR also reported earlier Wednesday, Warren will be headlining the New Hampshire Democratic Party's McIntyre Shaheen 100 Club fundraising dinner on February 22nd at Manchester. Details of that visit are below. Warren visited First Caucus State, Iowa last weekend, drawing large crowds at several stops over a 3-day period. Her visit to the Granite States are expected to do the same. And let's see the full report below of the dinner event. the details about the dinner event. And tickets can be purchased here if you click on that link. And we will share our article with the link on the Riley King Network Facebook page, so you can just go to that link into that article and then buy your tickets, and then click on that link for the tickets there. New Hampshire Ice Castles moving to North Woodstock will open on Friday. A popular winter attraction is moving to a new location this year and will be open for business on Friday. The Ice Castles, which are back for the 6th season in New Hampshire, are moving from Lincoln a few miles away to Clark's Farm Road in North Woodstock. Officials said the Utah-based company bought an 80-acre plot of undeveloped land in North Woodstock in 2017, with plans to move the attraction there. The North Woodstock attraction is one of 6 locations across North America, including castles in Midway, Utah, Colorado, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Canada. The castles feature ice-carved tunnels, fountains, slides, frozen thrones, and tall ice formations, officials said. This year, visitors can buy tickets for a horse-drawn sleigh ride. Anyone interested in visiting the castles is encouraged to wear boots and bring a sled instead of a stroller for children. For more information, visit www.icecastles.com. And now let's see how your stock market closed for this evening. And here's a look at how your stock market closed for this evening. Dow posts 4-day winning streak as Fed meeting minutes confirm patience on rate hikes. Stocks rose in another violent session on Wednesday after a summary of the Federal Reserve's meeting in December retreated comments from the central bank's chairman from last week about percents regarding monetary policy. Trump walks out of latest shutdown talks with Democrats, call them a waste of time. Democrats came out of the latest government shutdown talks at the White House on Wednesday, claiming that President Donald Trump walked out in a temper tantrum when they again refused to meet his demand that they would agree to fund the border wall. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.